And now, the contrast to this, so we walk, because we walk through doctrine and not through something, through sight. Hold on, before we begin here. They got this right. The NIV got this right, but except he says, "For we live by faith, not by sight." By the way, walking through doctrine is found in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38. Except it says something like living out from the source of doctrine. Walking means that walking through doctrine implies your daily thoughts, your daily decisions, you making decisions, and your walking is dictated by doctrine. But living out from the source of doctrine, as we have in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31, implies your whole life, your whole spiritual life, supported by doctrine. And in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, it says that it's impossible to please God without doctrine. You need doctrine to please God. If you do not have any doctrine, then how do you know about God? How do you know about His essence? Well, these are verses we'll go over next lesson. Right now, let us finish the verse. You want a short answer as to what this is all about? This is human viewpoint versus divine viewpoint. We walk because we walk through doctrine, not by sight, but literally through sight. So what do? We bring this verb over here. We bring it over here if we want to, just to make it easier. We walk through doctrine. We do not walk through something. So we have the very strong negative oo that denies the indicative mood. The oo denies the reality of something. May, on the other hand, denies the idea of something, just as we have may over here. Oh, I forgot. I'll go over it later on. So yes, that oo is very strong. We do not walk. Dia plus the genitive of eidos, seeing, sight. We do not walk through sight. That's very literal right now. And so, through sight, what is that? You have eyes. Eyes are very necessary. None of us wants to gauge out our eyes at all. We want these eyes very much. I want these eyes so that I can be able to read doctrine. It makes my life easier for me. If I was not able to read these manuscripts, then I might as well call it quits. But there were some pastors who have been blind, and they were still able to get it out. Well, regardless of that, I still want my eyes. If I were to lose them, it's fine. But I want them. We all want to be able to walk, want to be able to see, hear, everything. But here, this is metaphorical for a human viewpoint, for things that you see in front of you, for things that are legitimate that can serve as distractions, for things that are illegitimate, things that are cosmic stuff that also serves as distractions. This is human viewpoint. The contrast of this is divine viewpoint doctrine. You see, walking, in order for you to walk and have a lifestyle, first of all, you have to think it. Then, from that thought, you make decisions. And from those decisions, you take actions. And the collection of all these make up the lifestyle or the walking. So, this is human viewpoint, divine viewpoint dictating your peri pateo, in contrast to human viewpoint dictating your peri pateo. So, because we walk through doctrine and not through sight. If you prefer that very literally, we can go by doctrine and not by sight, but I like the literal sense because it really catches the dia plus the agency, the genitive of agency. Now, since we are talking about mental attitudes dictating our peri pateo, let's go over the doctrine of mental attitude. 2 doctrines today? Yes, 2 doctrines today. Oh, now I need to look for it. So, I should have been prepared here. I do have these in alphabetical order, so they should not be a problem. Mental attitude. So yes, you can see I have many doctrines here. Doctrine of mental attitude. Let's put this down here. Doctrine of mental attitude. What is mental attitude? Point 1 definition. Mental attitude is the function of the right lobe. The function of the right lobe of the mentality of the soul. It is the sum total of all the impulses of thought that emanate from the launching pad of the stream of consciousness. Okay, so in other words, mental attitude is all the sum total of all impulses of thought, all the thoughts put together that emanate from, that you launch out from the launching pad in the stream of consciousness. You have thoughts in your mentality, good or bad thoughts, but that forms your mental attitude. I know today that word attitude has been diminished or reduced to just simply someone having a bad attitude. I don't like your bad attitude, young girl. But it's more than that. It's everything that you think. There are two viewpoints, two mental attitude viewpoints, divine viewpoint or doctrinal viewpoint versus human viewpoint, not doctrinal viewpoint. Human viewpoint is not always bad. I'm pretty sure you already know this. It could be something very legitimate, very noble, something such as family and family togetherness. Well, family togetherness right away can become evil right away. Family togetherness after you're already 30 and thinking that you're supposed to stick together with all the uncles and the cousins and family together, and the family that prays together stays together, BS. Yeah, so you can see that can immediately become a distraction and therefore evil. But it depends on your mental attitude. If you know that that's your family, you want to hang out with them for Christmas, go ahead and enjoy it, apply doctrine while you're doing it, and that's not necessarily evil. But yeah, the reason why we need doctrine inside of our soul so that we can form a divine viewpoint in contrast to having a human viewpoint. And today, human viewpoint has become so subjective now, extremely subjective. People cannot live without receiving a little bit of attention. And then social media has brought the standards so high for the ladies and so high for the men as well that we become immediately subjective. All that social media that you watch, that's forming your human viewpoint. All the things that you're supposed to be and supposed to do and supposed to act, how you're supposed to react, all that is human viewpoint. And if you fall short of meeting that stupid standard that you've sucked in out of your own volition, you fall immediately into subjectivity. Humans have always been subjective. Human viewpoint has always been rampant in all human history. But right now we have a different type of distraction. This is the intensified stage of the angelic conflict. And with social media, it's very much present, very much in front of you. And the kids have a different type of arrogance from the start. Already very arrogant from the start. They're already thinking they're the shit. They're thinking they're higher than what they really are. They think they're more important than what they really are. They're thinking that there are no rules, no authority is necessary. Whatever my parents say is just a bunch of old-fashioned norms and standards. And so they're on a different level of arrogance. Authority keeps the child's arrogance on check. And once they grow up, if they want to rebel, okay, let them do so. But at least their arrogance was kept on check as a child. Not so much today. They're experiencing new levels of arrogance that usually teenagers experience, or young adults. They're already experiencing at the young age of 6, 7, 8. So if you ever see a little child very degenerate, very arrogant, that is not the fault of just necessarily of the school, even though they did contribute, or social media, even though they did contribute. It is because of your lack of spine. You wanted to be liked, you wanted to be loved you want to be a friend. Oh, mijo, ¿cómo estás? Oh, sí, tú juega, mijo. And you can get back from work and you think that's it. You have to instruct the child, you have to teach the child, you have to discipline the child. And if you have to remove that belt and tell them what's wrong with and how to do things, and you whip them a few times, you got to do so as well. Because school is going to beat you, because social media is going to beat you. On social media, there's nothing good on social media. There's some other good stuff as well, as far as doctrine is concerned, physics, science, mathematics, and all that, yes. But other than that, there's nothing good. The real personality of the person is the sum total of his thinking. So that's the real personality. And I'm not talking about personality superficially as, oh, he has a nice personality. I'm talking about your whole persona. The real personality of a person is the sum total of his thinking. You are what you think. Therefore, there's nothing man can do to improve his personality by means of exterior solutions. And what do we have right now? The rise of wellness. And I wrote this book on wellness and self-improvement and all this. You cannot improve yourself one bit. The person who was very petty and desiring so much attention, and now he appears to not want it so much, well, guess what? He just found another outlet. A person who was an exhibitionist, who was a slut or whatever he was, and now she becomes a born-again Christian, well, guess what? She has now found another outlet to satiate her lusts. Before it was approbation lust by way of exhibitionism and sexual lust, but now she satiates her approbation and attention lust by means of lifting up her hands and going and praise the Lord and wanting attention and going around that altar, dancing around, playing that tambourine, thinking that's for the Lord. You just simply found another outlet. You're just the same arrogant person, but you just found another outlet to satiate it, to assuage it. There's nothing in the exterior that you can use to humble yourself at all. There's such thing as the school of hard knocks, there's such thing as reality checks, and that can help out just to simply wake you up for a moment, but that's not going to cause any humility. The only thing that could really humble you and improve your mental attitude, so to speak, is Bible doctrine inside of your soul. And that takes time, not a one-shot solution. You want a curita? You want a little band-aid? Is that going to help out? No, you need it every damn day, which can be a blessed day if you learn Bible doctrine. Every day. Enjoy the ride. What do you have to lose? 2 hours of your time, of your day? What do you have more important? Scrolling down those reels of social media? Spending time too much with your children who eventually are going to hate you because you gave them all that you wanted? Or hanging out with your girlies because you wanted to fit with all the Asian girls? Or you wanted to fit with all the white girls? Or you wanted to pretend to be a Latina? That's nothing important. All what's important is the Word of God. 2 hours of your day, that's nothing. Eventually, you're going to have to give Him more hours. You're going to have more capacity. You're going to understand more. And God is going to require more from you. 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. But everything at its time, one day at a time. Chapter 2.2, your thinking is your true personality. What a person thinks inside of his soul is who he truly is. The mental attitude determines both the character and the personal life of the person. Proverbs 23, verse 6. Let me look at this one. Proverbs 23, verse 6. If I'm not mistaken, this one is terribly mistranslated. And the NIV. Ooh, what am I doing? Okay. Wrong typing. Proverbs 23, verse 6. So do not eat the food of a begrudging host. Do not crave his delicacies. This is talking about the person with ulterior motives. He's giving you food. He's offering you. Have you had those folks that offer you food and they always go and make food and they're cooking food all the time and they offer you food, but if you deny their food, they break apart? You just denied them their opportunity to feel superior or to feel sufficient. Arrogantly sufficient. You've denied them the opportunity to feel important. Do not eat the fruit of a begrudging host. Do not crave his delicacies. For he is the kind of person who is always thinking about the cost. What in the world? No. Because, kamo, as he is sha'ar, in his thinking, benasho, in his soul, as he thinks, as he calculates, in his soul, benasho. Be, the preposition, plus nefesh, benafsho, in his soul, and then ke, thus, therefore, in this manner. Therefore, who? He is. Why do you not eat from the food? Why do you not take his food? That guy who wants to feel important, he wants to feel like he's needed, and wants to do a good favor. Have you met people who are always doing a bunch of do-gooders, and they're always doing good things, and they use food. They play around with food all the time, and they give you food, and they want to feel so important, and they buy you food every day, but at the moment that you deny it, they hate you? Because they're using food, and they're using do-gooders, and they're using good gestures to satiate their arrogant lust, their self-importance, their pomposity, their desire to feel needed. And if you don't give it to them, they fall into self-pity if they're more passive about it. I need attention, look at me. Or aggressive, they start maligning you. So do not take his food, because, as he is, sha'ar, in his calculations, in his thinking, inside of his soul, thus he is. As he thinks, so he is inside of his soul. If only you started learning doctrine instead of focusing on all those psychological courses and reading Machiavellian tactics and all that, you'll be much better. Okay. Here we are. Point 3. I'll continue in the next video with point 3.